Hello there guys, Adventurous Allotmenteer here. I'm on my allotment here. I'm doing a Christmas Day walk around actually on my allotment just to show you what things are looking like on Christmas Day. But first I'd like to, as I'm looking around my allotment, I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I hope that your plant growing this year has been happy and healthy, but more importantly than that, of course, I hope you and your family, everyone watching this, you and your family are healthy and happy, and that's more important than any of this at the end of the day. So yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone, and really I hope you enjoy the day. So yeah, so I'm going to be giving you a tour around the allotment like I said today, and it's going to be a bit of a longer video than normal, as there's quite a bit to cover. But yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the ornamental bed as I usually do, because it's here. But yeah, so what I'll start by saying is we did have a frost a week, maybe just over a week ago, and it was quite a heavy hoar frost. Did cause a little tiny bit of damage, as you can see, but it wasn't serious, and the damage was from the hoarfrost rather than the cold. The cold itself went between -1 and -2, not something like that, not a big issue. But the hoarfrost itself caused a bit of damage on leaves, which is to be expected. So I'll show you that now. So wait, we're looking at the red cordyline now, which is not a problem at all ever. But we're also looking here, and this one is the first sort of like damage indicator, and that is this Sonchus fruticosus, the Canary Island dandelion, which is, as you can see, a bit damaged on the leaves, but really not really a problem. Like I said, that's hoarfrost damage, not cold damage. The difference between hoarfrost damage and cold damage, by the way, is quite simple. If your leaves turn black like a day or two after, then it's hoarfrost damage. If it takes a while to show damage, then it's definitely cold damage. So that's how you can tell the difference, unless of course the cold is really severe and usually results in the collapse of the plant if it's something like this. So yeah, no, this is definitely hoarfrost damage, but as you can see, in all of its glory, it is actually growing new leaves back in the middle. So yeah, it's growing new leaves back in the middle. And another reason you can tell it was hoarfrost damage is because the leaves were the upper leaves, sorry, these on the crown here were protecting the lower shoots, and there was no damage on them, and you can see it's still actually trying to grow. And it's not particularly warm here today. It's a chilly 5 degrees centigrade with a very strong easterly breeze, although it's more sheltered in here. It feels more like 0 out there, but in here it's more tolerable. But it really is quite cold feeling today. But next week it's going to get up to 17 degrees potentially on the lee side of hills, so I'll keep you updated on that, and I'll do a video if that actually happens. So yeah, there's my Sonchus fruticosus, really doing well. If I bend down here, you can see the trunk is very happy. Again, this is one of these plants that, like Euphorbia mellifera over there, that after a hard frost can take a bit of a damage, but usually the stem's fine and they'll grow back, so we'll see. The next plant that I haven't really covered much of, to be honest, is this one here. And I forget the name of it, which is just brilliant. Coria, sorry, that's it, Coria. I think it's Coria sheediana, or sheed, something like that. And it is, it's looking okay, yeah. It's not particularly hardy. I mean, I wouldn't say it's very hardy, but it looks okay. I'm going to eventually move this into that bed over there, which I'm preparing for the tea plants, so it'll have its own growing space rather than be crammed in here amongst all the other plants. The next one I'm showing you is this palm species. I mean, I'm used to growing Trachycarpus, of course. Trachycarpus is the must-have palm if you're having an exotic garden in the United Kingdom, in the British Isles. Trachycarpus is the absolute stalwart palm that you must grow, which is that one over there that you can see I'm pointing at there. This one is something a bit different. This is Livistena chinensis, which is slightly more tender, but as you can see it's handling the cold well, no problem. But it's very slow as well, unlike the palm over there, which is quite fast. But like all palms, they start slow and then they get faster as they grow. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one because that's a really nice, interesting palm. Yeah, it's all good. The next one of these bananas, and I had to cut the leaves off because I was worried that they might, well, for one, I'd rather protect the bottom of the stems so they come back like that from about there than protect the tops, to be honest. So I cut them off and put them around the stem bases. Not that they necessarily need it, but there you go. But these rollers are fine. In fact, that one's trying to grow out, which is a bit of damage, cold damage, whatever. Not really a problem. I wouldn't expect these to survive really in this area any time really, to be honest. But there you go. Yeah, all very fine. That's fine. There's no problem for that. This Melanosolinum decipiens with its decorative trunk, fine, no problems. Won't be a problem until it gets down to about -7. We really don't have to worry. Now this one's interesting. This is the Brugmansia. The leaves come off this. They fell off this plant, the leaves, because you know we had that frost and they don't like it. But the stems survived. So the stems are actually tough, they're hardy, and I found something quite interesting. So if you can see right in there, it's trying to grow back from the ground. So if I point just to this shoot here, yeah, it's trying to grow back from the ground. So the Brugmansia wants to come back, which is quite funny. I'm not sure, it probably won't last all winter, in all fairness. There's no way it's going to last all winter. But should these stems hold, which I'm not really, they probably won't, but they never have done yet. But if they were to hold, then they will grow back from here as well, which would make for quite an interesting video at the end of next year, I think, as it develops into a tree. Yeah, moving around. Tetrapanax Rex. Yes, again, some leaf damage on this, on the older leaves, so I cut them off and I used them to protect around certain plants. But not all the leaves are damaged. These ones are okay. They're a bit worse for wear, but this will be fine. The stem here is the hardy part. The leaves will almost always fall off, always come off and get burnt up in a frost. But these stems are completely hardy, much like Trachycarpus, which is related to it distantly, and well, actually quite closely, I think, actually. But they're related, and they pretty much got the same hardiness as well, more or less, in the stem and the roots. And of course the Trachycarpus. Now there is a plant I want to just mention down here on the thing, and this is Justicia brasiliensis. Justicia brasiliensis, I think it's called. Yeah. And this is looking okay, actually. This is a tropical plant from Brazil, and it's been out unprotected all winter. It's had the protection of the leaves, of course, in the early part of winter and when it was frosty, but right now it's sailing through. It's quite exposed, but there it is. It's looking healthy, and reputedly these are hardy to about -6. So what I'm going to do is eventually, when they flower, if they make it through the winter, of course, I'm going to collect some seed, and if anyone wants seed, just let me know. I'll try and send it through, because I think more people should grow these, because they do seem to be a bit hardier than it would suggest, and their flowers would suggest. So yeah, I'll move on to the fruit now, because you know, move on. That's the ornamental, it's doing well. I'll move on right now to the fruit. So as you would expect, if I go over here to the Chilean Guava, no problems whatsoever. It's actually still growing. It's a tough plant. It grows pretty much all year round, except when it's really cold, and you can see that through the leaves, and you can tell it's growing new leaves because they take on this reddish hue in the leaf when they're growing. You like that one there, the new leaves are red at this time of year because it's cold, but they do keep growing. The pomegranate is dormant completely, which is unusual because it's usually trying to grow leaves back in the middle of winter, but this one's fully dormant this year, thank God. Might get some fruit next year. This is hasn't grown at all, really surprising. This is the Azole's blueberry. It takes on a nice colour. This is like the autumn colour for normal blueberries, the normally grown blueberries in this country, but this is Azole's blueberry. This will never lose its leaves really. They will stay evergreen, but they do take on this reddish hue, which is really nice actually. It's a bit of autumn in winter, I think, but yeah, they'll be fine as long as we don't get the severest of severe cold. They'll be fine. And then walking over the pineapple guava, didn't really perform in terms of fruiting this year. There was no fruit, unfortunately. I don't know what happened. I think it was maybe because I replanted it last year. I wasn't expecting fruit, so it's not surprising really, to be honest. But one thing I will note is that it's looking a hell of a healthier this year than it was the same time last year, and so I consider that to be down to the fact that I raised it up out the boggy part of the soil that it was in. And I think you'll admit it looks very healthy, and that should give it a head start going into next year. So maybe we'll get a better fruiting season next year, let's hope so. And moving down here, I'll go here first, is my strawberry tree, which of course I'm using, you can see what I'm using that for. But if this carries on, aka if all these fruit panicles actually develop, if these develop, then next year I'm going to be able to actually use this for what I was intending to use it for in the first place, which was to distill the liqueur Medronho from Portugal. I was going to use it. These fruit are still alive, they've not been hit by frost, they're still green, as you can see. So it looks like for the first time ever next year, if this goes to plan, then we're going to get a lot of fruit, and there is going to be the process of making the drink, which I've been waiting for patiently for a long time. So yeah, we'll move on. That's really good. I'll keep you updated on that one actually, because that's interesting, really interesting me actually at the moment. The next one, of course, is the citrus. Now this one's interesting. So looking good. Yuzu's looking good. Let's not deny. The yuzu is looking good at this time of year. It's very green, it's very healthy. I'm surprised it's that green, to be honest, given that there's very little light levels at this time of year, but there it is. It's green. You'll notice that the top is bare. Now there was leaves on this. The frost came and they burnt off. But this is okay. They fell off. They fell off this trunk. This is not surprising though. Not an issue. They did that because they grew back in November, October, November. They were very soft, sappy growth. And they didn't make it because of that. Had they grown in spring and toughened off like the ones here, they would have been okay, but they weren't. So next year they'll grow back from the stem. Hopefully the stem is still nice and green. It's very in fact it's trying to grow back, I think, in some parts, but it's very healthy. Just let that go past you. Very healthy, and you can see, despite the leaves falling off, it will grow back. It'll be fine, no problem. And then all of the succulents still good. Lampranthus there is still very healthy. Carpobrotus, the succulent down here, less so. It's a bit unhealthy. If I can get this without giving myself the punty, is not the sort of palm you want. I mean the sort of cactus you want to get spines in your fingers from, but Punchy is fine despite the wettish ground. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. The old thing called aloe striatula is fine, although some of the succulents aren't doing so well, but it is what it is. I'm not worried too much. The Acaveria over there as well under the Lampranthus is fine. So that's this area, that's fine. The fig of course is dormant. No issues. I'll come back to that in the growing season when there's some interest. And then I'll move over here to the euphorbia, which is fine. It's shedding, of course, it's going on the process of shedding its winter leaves. You can see that here, the yellow. They will shed. That's a normal situation. It looks quite nice actually. I think it looks very pretty like that. But, you know, each to their own, I suppose. Same with that one. But very healthy. They're looking really good, very healthy, and pleased with the progress of this one. Fuchsia, obviously, it's winter. They've lost most of their leaves because of that frost. And then all the other plants. And also, if you look down here, I've got this Dendroceros littoralis. Now, I'll just zoom into this. The leaves look a bit... they don't look happy. This is like from a subtropical climate, of course. The stem should be okay and it should grow back fine, but we'll see. A harsh, like a frost of more than like -3 will cause significant damage, but we haven't had that yet, so it's fine for now. It's just a bit tired and it's not used to growing in such horrible winter conditions, I don't think. So yeah, and then finally in this part, in the main allotment, I'll go around to This which is my olive. The olive's fine, no problems. The succulents are not particularly happy, of course. A puntier cactus is actually looking as good as it did any time during summer. This usually shrivels up and dies back and then plumps up in the spring when the warm comes. It's looking fine even now in December, which is surprising. And the lantana is still alive. Still actually got some green leaves, even though they look a bit worse for wear, but it's fine, which is strange. I might actually leave that in. Very surprising. Anyway, what I'll do now is the last bit of the video. It's been going on for quite a while, I realise that. Don't want to take up too much of your day if you're watching today, at Christmas Day. But I'm going to go in the greenhouse and show you what's going on there, because that is a real nice surprise. To end up on a positive note, time to go in the greenhouse, because this is positive. So here's my greenhouse. Bear in mind that a lot of the windows and a lot of the thing were blown out, so a lot of the frost that we had, we were basically, it was frosty in here. We had a lot of frost and cold, but as you can see, there's absolutely no problems at all, and the plants are just fine, completely fine. Of course, I don't water anything here, so it's very dry. The plants are better off like that, of course, during winter. Too much water will cause problems. But as I look around, you've got the citrus down there by the bucket and all of those. I don't know where they've come from actually, I didn't do that. But I'm gonna have to put them away. But yeah, the citrus down by the mess there, that's they're still doing fine. Surprisingly, and I'm real surprised about this, let's be honest, is this one. It looks very yellow, okay, I admit. It looks a bit sickly, it doesn't look very healthy, but this is a passion flower, and this is Passiflora edulis. But this is Frederick, and Frederick is the tender variety of Passiflora edulis. Doesn't really tolerate much below 0. So to see this still in leaf, and even still growing, perhaps. Look at this. This is still growing in December, and some of the new leaves are actually quite green. Is absolutely mind-blowing, because I thought it would be completely dead by this point. I didn't think there was any chance of it surviving at all. And then even the other one, the standard Passiflora edulis, if I just move this over here, is also still alive, but it's taken more damage at the leaf tips, as you can see. A bit of frost bite there. Not surprising though, because it has been open up here. So, but like with a bit of cover, it's really done well. So that I'm made up with, but I'm under no illusions. It's still gonna get frosted down in the winter. You know, let's not be overly optimistic just because it's still here in December. It will be taken to the ground at some point. But the other plants, fine. All the plants which are bought in here are fine. The tea is just fine. Even the lantana there is trying to grow new growth. Good for it. The canna is actually still alive. It's a bit brown, but the stem's still alive. Don't know why I'm bothered about that, because they have a cycle, so it doesn't matter. Yes, all of the plants in here are doing well. The acacia, which I'm going to get rid of, and of course the mainstay plant in here, which is the strawberry guava, and it's looking absolutely fine, no problems. In fact it's trying to grow some new leaves. I hope that stays okay. Please stay away, cold, please stay away. And everything will be fine in here, and it's really good. Yeah, so basically, to wrap up, it's positive up to this point. You know, I'm under no illusions, of course. Like everyone else, the cold could come. The cold is now affecting parts of the world, east and west of here, and eventually we have to admit that it will eventually find its way here. It's just a matter of time. But up till now, no problems, and it's nice on Christmas Day to see that everything is healthy and happy. And I hope it's the same with everyone else who's watching this as well, because it puts the mind at ease, and you don't want to be worrying about plants. But Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good update. I'm happy with this. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave the video there, and thanks for watching, thanks for putting up with this. This is my longest video yet, 20 minutes I think it is going on for now, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching. Again, Merry Christmas, have a good day. I'm going out after with my family, so don't worry, I'm not wasting Christmas Day in my allotment. And yeah, I'll see you next time for another video. So thanks for watching. Please like this, please subscribe, and I'll come back later with another video, hopefully soon. Yeah. Alright, bye.